Shavua Tov, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. And you know you guys come here every Monday to Thursday for your top stories. So let's take a look at those big stories starting off the week. And we go to a meeting of the African Union that took place in Ethiopia over the weekend. Now, in a serious breach of diplomatic protocol, Israel's observer delegation to the African Union summit was kicked out of the meeting. Now, no reasons were given for this, and Israel has observer status, as do many other countries, including China, Greece, and various others. And basically what this means is that Israel can be present in the room, but cannot put forward any resolutions or vote. This is seen as a major diplomatic win for the Jewish state, especially seeing that diplomatic relations between Israel and African states are growing significantly, and also because we traditionally see at institutions like the United Nations a lot of hostile voting against Israel. So while we don't know the reason for this, we do know that Israel's foreign ministry have blamed Algeria and South Africa for this. In fact, a representative from the foreign ministry is quoted as saying the African Union has been taken hostage by states like South Africa and Algeria, who are backed by Iran. Now, South Africa has made it one of its prime foreign policy objectives to get Israel's observer status rescinded, and this still has to go for a vote. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa said that there is no evidence to prove that South Africa was behind it. However, in a statement issued by the ruling party, the ANC, yesterday, they said they were encouraged by this, calling Israel an apartheid state and saying that this is an opinion shared by Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International in reports they recently released. And they also called for two states. Now, many have criticized South Africa, saying, how can you call for two states where you negate basically the concerns and the existence of one of those two states? The foreign ministry has said that they will be summoning South Africa's Chargé d'Affaires for a rebuke in the coming days. Now, South Africa doesn't have an ambassador to the State of Israel. Diplomatic ties, while still in existence, have been downgraded. Today, tens of thousands of people are protesting against planned judicial reforms in cities across Israel. There are major protests happening in Jerusalem as we speak, as well as Tel Aviv. And protesters blocked the major arterial highways earlier today. However, police have said these have now been opened up. This follows more major protests taking place on Saturday night. An estimated 250,000 people are believed to have protested across the country. Now, today, the Knesset will go to yet another debate and another reading of proposed reforms. However, President Herzog said he is confident that there could be a compromise reached within days. Earlier today, some protesters barricaded the homes of some of the Likud MKs, an action that was roundly condemned by Prime Minister Netanyahu, as well as leader of the opposition, Yair Lapid, who tweeted out that this is not the way that we do things. Also protesting today are parents and children outside schools across the country against the planned judicial reforms. Meanwhile, the police chief Shabtai has warned that things could be extremely violent if tempers aren't cooled soon. This is a sentiment shared by the head of Shin Bet, who called the Justice Minister Yariv Levin to say, please calm down temperatures. This could lead to significant violence. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Netanyahu's son Yair Lapid tweeted out that these protests are an attempt by the Shin Bet to engage in a coup against his father. However, he offers absolutely no evidence. The issue of judicial reform is an extremely divisive one. We know that many of you watching this have a variety of opinions, as do Israeli society. And if you are going to comment on articles or on some of our broadcasts, we do ask that please keep all comments respectable. The United Nations Security Council was due to vote on a resolution condemning Israel's expansion of settlements. This follows the announcement last week of the legalizing of 9 illegal outposts, as well as the building of 10,000 more homes. Now, the United States, while condemning the settlement expansion, have also said to the United Nations, these kind of resolutions and UN condemnations do not help the cause for peace. And it is believed that the United Arab Emirates want to put together a unified condemnation of the settlement expansions. However, just moments ago, the United States reported that Israel has said there will be no more building of settlements or recognitions this year. And finally, MKs Elkin and Edelstein are in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. They are there on a parliamentary friendship visit. They will meet with their counterparts as well as senior ministers and leaders from the Jewish community. This follows a meeting last week by Foreign Minister Eli Cohen with both his counterpart, Dmytro Kuleba, and President Zelensky. And that brings us to the end of today's headlines. Don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our YouTube channel is at the Israel Brief. Please consider subscribing and sharing this. We're on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5, on Facebook at Lottel Site. You guys know what to do. Like us, follow us, share our content, and don't forget to join me again tomorrow right here for your top stories.